The first step of the installation of the door edge guard is to use basic 70% isopropyl rubbing alcohol, also the same solution that we'll be using for the installation, to clean the edges and the surrounding areas where you're going to be applying the door edge guard. So I like to spray it this side and the inside because you're going to be wrapping it around the corner. Then simply take a rag and make sure that you get all dirt off the edges. Any dirt left under there is going to be seen very clearly through the clear film. So you want to make sure that you have just the surface of the vehicle that you're going to be dealing with. Give that a nice clean edge, and then you're ready to start working with the film. There are two types of installation for this door edge guard. I can go with a wet installation or a dry installation. Right now we're going to do the wet installation, and that is just using that same 70% rubbing alcohol to spray the adhesive side of the film. Get that nice and wet. Then I move to the surface of the vehicle. I want to get that nice and wet also. That allows my film to slip, and it allows me to place it where I want it to go. Now, I'm going to start at the top, right here, and I am going to place my film in the desirable area. Now, however much it overlaps, that's up to you. As long as it covers the edge of the door, you're protecting what you want to protect. So I get this in place, and I simply just wipe the air out of the area so that it's just alcohol underneath there bonding to the surface of the vehicle. I come back with my squeegee and I remove some of that. I want to make sure that it's not going to go anywhere. Give it a nice starting point. Then I work my way down the car. Now I use my thumb and a little bit of pressure down to place the film. I want to make sure that I'm giving myself a nice edge. To move the edge back and forth like this, you don't want a crooked edge. You want it to follow this line all the way down. Now, I'm using my squeegee and I'm running it sideways down the film. As you can see, I'm picking up the water that's underneath that film and making sure that now it's just glue and the surface of the film. It's the glue, the surface of the film, and the surface of the paint that I have to deal with. There's no water left behind when I get done. Now the last stage is you're going to want to take your hands and I rub it right here on the edge. Now systematically I'm going farther and farther to wrap it over that edge. The reason I'm so careful is I don't want to leave any air right here on this very edge. It's very easy just to flop it over and then you get air right there on that edge. You want to make sure that you carefully move all that air off that edge and wrap the film over to the other side. As long as you do that, this edge will always be protected. Very carefully, make sure all of that air is out of that edge. And the other thing is you don't want air pockets because they don't really look all that good once it dries. So just make sure you've wrapped it all the way around. You haven't left any air or any water underneath the film by the time you get over there. Now as long as that edge is over, we've made it past that edge, then we're fine. Now this side, this inside edge may not lay down completely because it's a little rough in there, but that's okay. That's why we bring our heat gun. I'm going to take a heat gun and I'm going to seal these edges. That excess heat will soften up the glue and make it strong enough so that these edges aren't going to have a problem with air or dirt seeping back in. I just apply heat to the outer edge of the piece all the way around and wipe it down with the towel to make sure that it's bonded completely. Same thing with the other side. Now be very careful when you're doing this. The surface of the film can get quite hot, so it is possible to burn yourself. You want to be very, very light with the thumb and with the towel so as not to burn yourself on the film. Simply remove the backing from the film. Now you want to be careful when it's at this point. Anything that touches it, any dirt, debris, will stick to the film and it will be very hard to get back off. And lay it into place. Now as you can see, the film is very sticky, so if I apply a little bit of tension with my bottom hand, my left hand down here, and I rub my thumb across it, that allows the glue to stick. Now I want to be very careful as I'm doing this. If I were to rub my thumb down and leave an air pocket in there, that's going to be very hard to remove. I'm going to have to pull the film up and start over. But for right now, as long as I keep my thumb completely contoured to the vehicle, as I bring it down, I can lay it right into place and it sticks the first try. Now you notice I'm having to come down on this curve down here. So as I pull this tension and rub my thumb out, I move my left hand to place the film into the proper area. Making sure that I get all that air out as I wipe it down. Now I like to start from the hardest, most difficult area to wrap over. Now this isn't really difficult, but this is where you have your most compound areas. So I'm going to start right here as opposed to starting from right at the top. And just wrapping this over. You see as I slide my finger over the edge, that wipes that air out of there and allows the glue to grab for you. Just wrap it over the edge. Make sure all the air is out. And then continue the process all the way down the edge of the door. You see how I go to the top of the roll, the middle of the roll, and then the other side of the roll, getting that to stick. Same thing all the way down. You don't have to go all the way down at once. You can do small areas at one time if you like. Now the film is on there. It's been wrapped around the edge. Now would be a good time to go ahead and come back with my heat gun and seal the edges. Using a heat gun and a simple rag. This is a microfiber rag. This is what we use to clean the cars, but this will also work to seal the edges for us. I just want to use these. I want to go around every single edge, the outer edge of the film, right here and on the other side, to make sure that it is completely bonded, there's no problems, no air pockets, no anything that's going to allow the dirt or water or anything to get into the edges. That way it always stays clear and it always protects the edge of your doors. Now that side's done, we do the other side. And that is the dry installation for the Star Shield Armor Door Edge Guard.